The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of child zombies. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Zombie Week. Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast, weekly edition. This week, we are discussing zombie movies, but we made a mistake. Originally, it was going to be dedicated to the Australian zombie movies Wyrmwood, what is it?
Road of the Dead and Apocalypse.
And then Wyrmwood Apocalypse. However, Wyrmwood Apocalypse is not on our docket today because it doesn't come out until February 10th, which is not out, and it also doesn't come out in the United States.
How did that happen?
I don't know, bro.
What's
it was your
on?
idea.
I know, right?
So Matt Vader 74 says, I want to watch these Wyrmwood movies. There are
we
two
did
of
a
them
trailer
out.
reaction. Yeah. We were all like, on board.
And he's like, instead of doing our regular 3 movies, I only want to do 2 movies, and I want to do these 2 movies. And we were like, okay, we'll experiment with the format a bit. And then I asked him specifically, I'm like, are you sure both of these movies are available?
It's my fault.
And he's like, 100%. These things are on Prime. You can find them on Amazon.
That was me.
Well, Jude backed him up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to trust my co-host to actually bother to look this up. I'm not going to double check them because they'll give me shit about it. And so because I did not double check them, we found out that that Wyrmwood Apocalypse is not available. It's not even out in theaters yet.
I know, right?
And so we were able to watch Road of the Dead, but then we were like, well, we can't just do one movie for the main show. And so we chose a random zombie movie to kind of bundle in with it.
From the same year as Wyrmwood.
But we did it so late in the week that we didn't have time to watch a third movie to round out our normal format.
Yeah.
So Matt Vader 74, thank you.
You are very welcome
for doing this.
Watch this end up being one of our best episodes.
It's going to be great. These movies are... what are we doing first?
Well, first we're going to be doing the movie
Cooties, right?
Cooties with Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson and a bunch of a really mixed...
I've been watching a lot of zombies this week.
Yeah, me
I've
too.
been watching Korean zombies and chicken zombies and little kid zombies and Australian zombies.
All right. So first on our list is Cooties. Before we get into it, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you need a new mobile game, go to saltynerd.com/DC and download Dragon Champions. It is a World of Warcraft style video game that you can play on your phone. It's completely free. Type in the promo code SALTY in the settings options, and you guys can get some really cool stuff to kind of get you moving and get you started in the game. Vader's a big fan of this game. He plays all the time. He's trying to catch up with Matthew Cage.
It's impossible. I just hit level 48 like an hour ago.
Yeah.
I was playing while we were recording one of our other shows, but I did my dailies and
correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been playing this game since launch. Is that correct?
Yeah, for a couple of years now, and I'm addicted to it. I play it every day. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where if you're OCD or if you're like a collector, basically you collect these heroes and then you upgrade them so that you can use them to fight against other players. And it's a very kind of fun, casual game. It's kind of like an MMO, but without the time investment. You don't have to sit there for hours on end and go raiding and stuff like that. But they have raids, they have tournaments, they have all types of things where you can play against other players or do player versus environment stuff. And it's a whole lot of fun. I love the game a lot.
Yeah, so if your partner is a hoarder, maybe download this game and then you can clean out the garage while they're playing the game.
That's very true.
All right, guys. They support us as a podcast. We want to return the favor. So head over there, saltynerd.com/DC, download the game, type in salty as the promo code. All right, the first movie on our list today is Cooties, with a cast mixed with The Office and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And SNL.
I was shocked.
The cast is legit. But let's get into it. Jude, what is Cooties all about?
Well, Cooties is what happens when you're on the playground and a boy touches you and they have cooties and then you get them.
And you got to do the circle, dot thing.
Yeah.
To cure it. Yeah.
Okay.
Even in my old age, we had Cooties on the playground when I was a kid.
Cooties have been around for forever.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's no laughing matter.
You old fart.
I know, dude.
2014 Cooties, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 28 minutes. I looked really hard and could not find the budget for this.
Okay.
Do you want to guess what it brought into the box office?
I didn't even know this movie existed.
Yeah.
Right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it made $35 million. I have no idea.
I didn't know this existed either. I don't think it even got a theatrical run. Did it get a theatrical run?
It got a limited theatrical run.
So it made $12,000.
Somewhere in between. It made $581,000.
That's it?
Yes.
Why did they make this movie?
I don't know.
It's a fun movie.
it's a
I know it's
fun
fun,
movie.
but
Yeah.
like as an actor, when you're
It's
going
gotta-
into this, like, hey, would you like to do a zombie movie?
There's four actors in this, 3 or 4 actors in this that carry their own stuff.
Right.
It's weird. It's
I feel like if this had been marketed, this would have killed because
Yeah.
it was a fun movie.
So
Yeah.
Elijah Wood's production company basically produced this, and then they sold it off to Lionsgate, who gave it a limited theatrical run and then put it onto home video.
okay.
So my guess would be like this was probably like a $10 million movie or something like that. But
Did it make money?
They don't got to pay those kids.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did it make money in like the home videos realm?
I doubt it. Like you guys said, like very few people have heard of this movie, and there was very little marketing muscle behind it. The only reason I suggested it is because I had seen the trailer for it and I thought it looked kind of funny. And so I was like, well, if we got to pick a zombie movie, this is available on Prime for free. So like, we might as well watch it.
I'm glad we watched it. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was a hidden gem. I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be this good.
I mean, it
but-
wasn't great,
Nah,
but it was serviceable.
it's tongue in
It's
cheek.
not making my
Yeah.
top 10
No,
for
not at all.
2022.
No. It's just a tongue in cheek. You got nothing else to watch. You want to check out some goofy zombie movie that's kind of a comedy.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
I like the whole twist of the kids
well, we'll
Yeah.
get
and
there.
stuff. You
Yeah.
know, have you done the
She
synopsis?
hasn't done the
Okay.
synopsis yet.
All right.
No, drunk boy, I haven't. Ready?
Jude. Jude, take it away. What is Cooties all about?
All right. Well, not a lot have changed for the. Not a lot changed. Jesus.
Cowboy whiskey.
Cowboy whiskey.
I don't like that whiskey. I'm drinking tequila.
Oh God. She's either gonna get in a fight
I put my tits on the table.
or want to like, or it's gonna get really weird here in about an hour.
I'm telling you, this is going to be our best episode ever. The one we fucked up. Okay.
Not a lot changed with the students of Fort Chicken Elementary School after they ate some zombified chicken. They were already monsters. Thank God Dwight Schrute went all-state back in the day and can lead the other teachers safely to the roof to watch the students eat their parents at pickup. He's got his trusty dual rear wheel fuck you truck.
Rear wheel wheel.
How did I do?
That was perfect.
Dual rear wheel fuck you truck, and he, Mr. Frodo, and a handful of survivors make their way out of town and out of anywhere that's been affected with prepubescent zombies.
That was perfect.
The
Wheel drive.
I did not laugh at that when I was watching this movie.
Dual
but it's
wheel.
hilarious
It's so
right now.
funny to me.
Dual real wheel.
You know what, man? Honestly, I bet you that probably wasn't even a joke.
Yeah.
I think
He
Rainn
ad-libbed-
Wilson
he
was
probably
on set,
ad-libbed
was
it.
going like, I can't
Real,
fucking say
real,
this. Dual wheel.
So there's a part in the movie where Rainn Wilson is talking about his like big bad fuck you truck.
Yeah.
And he's trying to describe it. And he can't say dual rear wheel.
You can't either.
Very few people can. Like, I would challenge anyone listening to
Dual
this.
real wheel.
Lots of country folk who actually like these kind of trucks, we just say dualies.
Yeah,
like
I was
it's
just
just
saying,
a,
we
it's
call
a-
them dualies.
Yeah, it's a dually. But that was the best joke in this freaking movie.
Real. Real.
And
And that was our discussion of Cooties.
I guarantee you that was not a joke. I think that was just Rainn Wilson.
And it's a recurring thing. Like every time he talks about his
Yeah.
truck, he's always like, "Dual wheel."
Elijah Wood was like, "Hey man, how many people does your truck fit?" He's like, "Fuck, 8. It's a dual wheel."
He keeps trying to get it right.
He can't do it. I will say,
Now I want to know if that was ad-libbed or written.
it probably was ad lib. I gotta say though, this opening credit sequence is probably the
Oh, God.
grossest
Listen,
freaking thing I have
listen.
ever
Oh
seen.
my God. For
Chicken.
sure.
I eat a lot of chicken.
I do
And
too.
I eat a lot of chicken because I have gout that runs in my family, and we can't eat a lot of red meat. I love my steaks. I do eat steak, but we eat way more chicken. I don't want to eat chicken right now
Because of this.
because of this fucking movie, dude.
Yeah.
It was so gross watching them.
You know what's
do the
really,
chicken stuff.
you know what makes it so gross though? Is because that's actually how chicken nuggets are made.
I know.
I
I know.
am pretty
That's-
sure those were actual chickens in a chicken factory
Yeah.
that they just took some
That's-
footage
and
of.
And that opening scene is grosser than anything
Jesus.
from Wyrmwood.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This was like bad taste levels gross.
Yes.
Yes.
For you,
Yeah.
I mean, I almost turned it off when the girl bit the fucking nugget.
That's one of the one of the
special
reasons why I don't take my kids to like fast food joints.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, no, I'm not eating freaking
No,
processed boxed chicken nuggets.
McDonald's and these processed chicken nuggets, they're the worst thing in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
I don't eat them either.
If you love them, if you're out there and you're like, man, I love freaking McDonald's
Don't
chicken
eat
nuggets,
'em.
watch the opening credits to
Oh.
this movie,
Ugh.
and then you'll never eat it again.
Have
You
you
know
guys
what-
ever seen that YouTube video of Jamie Oliver, the chef, where he like shows the kids how chicken nuggets are
Yes.
made?
Oh,
And
yeah.
the kids are all like, "We love these." And he's like, "No, you're not supposed
I was
to."
trying to tell you not to eat
I
them.
think the actual process of the nugget making is actually grosser than this.
Probably. This is
make-
probably
they
sanitized.
They make some kind of like weird foamy paste that they put it in these molds. and
Yeah,
shit. It's
didn't
so
that whole
nasty.
like pink slime thing come out
Yeah.
around the same time as this movie?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
man.
bro. Chicken nuggets are not the way to go.
No, not at all.
I
It'll
make
turn you into a zombie.
I make real chicken nuggets when I fry my own at home, and they're freaking amazing.
Ooh, I want some.
You want some? They're gluten free too.
Kind of hungry right now.
The chicken probably
You guys
still
wanna
comes
go-
from the chicken still probably comes from a chicken factory.
You guys want to come over to my house and have like a big fry party?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's
do
do it. All right. That was by far like a great start to this movie because it just grossed you
Oh,
out
yeah.
to begin with. The
In fact,
kid,
it was the best part of the movie.
so you guys know I hate kids in movies, right?
Oh yeah.
I do.
This is the single best kids movie I've ever seen. Where because the kids are so freaking disgusting and also kind of creepy.
Fucking Patriot.
Patriot, the main asshole kid.
Yeah, there's an actual kid named Patriot in
And
this
he's-
movie.
I was born on 9/11.
Yes. He's
And I'm
like,
gonna grow up and be a Marine and go fuck some towel heads up. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding
No,
me?
That's an actual line.
that's
from
an
that
actual
movie.
line
I
from the
know.
movie.
That's what I said.
That's
It's like,
amazing.
right. I was like, oh my god.
And Elijah Wood is a substitute teacher. He comes to the school just to sub in. He calls himself a writer, which is funny because when Rainn Wilson was making fun of him for being a self-published writer, I was like, Cage.
Yeah.
I just kept saying that.
Well, it's also funny because
he hasn't written a book yet.
I know.
it's also funny because Elijah Wood, he's writing a book about a haunted ship, like on the high
Yeah, like
seas.
Ghost Ship, yeah.
A ghost ship. And Rainn Wilson, when he's hearing Elijah Wood describe it, he's like, "Oh, like Christine." And
Yeah.
Elijah Wood's like, "What?" He's like, that Stephen King book, Christine, about the haunted car. And Elijah Wood's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, it's like you're just ripping off. And then what does he says
going
later?
and fucking your boat or something. Right?
Yeah, he's like, the
He's
guy,
like, that guy wants to fuck his boat.
You know your main character wants to fuck his boat.
he's like, no, he doesn't. That's not what he, and he's like, oh my God.
He's like, no, he has a relationship with the boat.
Yeah.
And it's like a metaphor because basically, so there's this teacher played by Alison Pill who plays the doctor in Star Trek Picard.
I had the hardest
yeah.
time. I'm like, I know this chick from somewhere.
Same.
What is she from? So I looked it up.
Discovery.
Oh,
Yeah, and,
Or no, Picard.
she's the murdering chick.
yeah,
He gets
yeah,
away
she's
with
the
it.
murdering doctor, but she plays Rainn Wilson, who's the PE coach's girlfriend. And when Elijah Wood comes as the substitute teacher, he kind of hits it off with the Rainn Wilson's girlfriend, and so Rainn Wilson is super insecure and jealous about their relationship with one another. And so like when he's making fun of like the boat where he's like, the guy wants to fuck the boat, he's really talking about his girlfriend and
Yeah.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah. Rainn Wilson freaking steals this movie, dude.
He's the best.
He is so
Well,
freaking
God, I would
awesome.
hope so.
He is an asshole from the first moment
He's
he
got
steps on the
Curly hair and like a handlebar mustache,
Yeah.
and he pulls it
And
off.
like the kids are all being zombified on the playground. They're killing each other. They're killing teachers. And Rainn Wilson is just trying to make a basket on the play.
Not paying attention.
What the fuck's wrong with you? You can make this basket. You went all state. He's like talking to
Yeah,
himself.
playing basketball.
Yeah.
I think we forgot to kind of describe the plot. So anyway,
We just set
a
it
group
up.
of teachers are stuck in a school because all of the children have eaten these chicken nuggets with are laced with some kind of a virus that causes
Well, no,
them to come.
the one girl ate the nugget
Right.
and she bit somebody. Then that person bit
But
somebody.
all the chicken nuggets are
no
contaminated.
I think
Yes.
it's just the
no,
one.
no, because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So all of the chicken
Oh,
nuggets were
okay.
contaminated.
yeah.
I missed that part because
It's
I was. If you when you watch the opening credits until she eats the nugget, they're focusing on one
Yes.
malformed, gross looking dark brown, chunky looking nugget.
It's got like green
And
mold
it's got like
on it.
it's got like brown shit in the middle. I'm getting grossed out thinking about it.
They have the camera super close up on this little girl's mouth, and she bites into it and it like oozes out this green
brown
shit.
gravy shit comes out.
It's so gross.
So all of these kids are getting infected with the zombie virus, and then we find out about midway through the movie that it's only affecting you if you have not been through puberty.
Right. Yeah.
So
Otherwise, you just shit your pants.
Yeah, you get like flu symptoms.
Right.
But if you're a child, the flu symptoms turn into like face herpes, and then you become a zombie.
Yeah.
The thing that I appreciated most about the kids is that, with the exception of one or two, they were all little shits.
Mhm.
Every single kid in this movie,
they were monsters before they became.
Is a little turd and deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patriot is
And
numero
Patriot's
uno.
the worst.
Patriot is the fucking worst.
You guys are giving Rainn Wilson a lot of love, but
Yeah,
I
we
actually
are.
thought that Lee Wannell, who plays Doug,
Is he the
science
super
teacher,
awkward guy?
Yeah, he's the super who had like a spike in his head as a kid, and so like he lacks the ability to have like normal like conversations with people. But he plays the science teacher, and I thought he really stole the show because
he was great.
He had some funny bits where like he'd tell everyone to stop talking, and no one's talking, and he'd be like, "No, stop talking, quiet everyone."
So he
Rebecca,
has like
be quiet.
He has like voices in his head or some shit.
So he explains later on that because he had the spike in his head as a kid, he doesn't always use the right words for stuff. And so like throughout the entire thing, he's like, yeah, we got to get out of here to the windmill. Right? Something like that.
He's like, sometimes I don't use the right sandwiches.
Yeah.
She's like, do you mean words?
And the character of Rebecca is this like super uptight kind of Karen who like has like a rape alarm. and
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
right.
that.
I forgot about the
so
rape button.
funny. Nassim Pedrad, I think her name is. She's from Saturday Night Live. Nassim Pedrad. Oh, good for me. Yeah, she starts off. He's like.
Like she blames
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, she
comes in and he's like, hey, I'm a substitute. I need a cup of coffee. Can I just use any of these mugs? And she's like, excuse you, don't get too close or I will let my rape alarm go off because I know you want to rape me. Like she's so fucking aggressive at the beginning.
Yeah, and she blames everything on like the local government, like overstepping their bounds. you know, like in the state of Illinois.
Oh yeah, she's full Karen in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it's great. The dynamic between all the teachers.
Isn't she the comedian that has that terrible show on TBS where she plays like a dude in high school?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I don't watch TBS.
It's called Brad or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I love the part where she's like, they show each of the teachers like kind of teaching in class, just a little snippet. And she's talking about like, did the cavemen or something? She's like, did the cavemen come from apes? Or did they come from man? I can't say. I literally cannot say because the state of Illinois would not let me say.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a lot of really funny bits in this movie. It was surprisingly good. I honestly, when I first started it, like besides the opening credits, which was super gross, but
I was like, oh man, what are we getting into here?
When I saw the premise of the movie, I was like, oh shit. I rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, fucking Cooties.
I mean, we had to come up with something at the last minute.
I know.
But this was a good pick.
It was surprisingly good. I had a
wasn't
lot
bad.
of fun with it. And the kids were actually like one of the most terrifying moments, which I didn't expect this movie to actually be scary. I thought it was going to be more tongue in cheek, which it was for the most part. But there was one scene where they were crawling through the ducts. And that scene where there was like a floor duct and they were looking up through it and the girl was rolling her tricycle around.
Yeah, that was pretty freaky.
And then they like dropped a flashlight or something and everything stops. And and then you see the girl like look into the grate and you're just, oh shit, like that. I was legit like, oh my God, that little girl's gonna kill him.
Can we talk about Rainn Wilson's little Lord of the Rings reference in this movie?
Absolutely. Yeah, go for it.
Well, I mean, like he's having like a argument with Elijah Wood.
Sneak around like a little hobbit? No way, I'm taking the fight to them like a fucking orc.
And it's kind of funny because Elijah Wood, like his face when he like calls him a hobbit, he's like, oh yeah. So it was a nice little like Lord of the Rings reference there.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I totally expected it to happen. As soon as I see Elijah Wood in a show or a movie, I 100% expect somebody to make some kind of Lord of the Rings reference. Like it's inevitable.
If they don't, you walk away disappointed.
Yeah, I kind of do. Like I just watched a movie with him on Netflix. It was like, I don't feel safe living here anymore, I think was the title of it. And he's a character in this movie. It's like a low budget little indie movie. And they didn't make a Lord of the Rings reference. And I was like, son of a bitch. But it was, okay, so Rainn Wilson, I'm just going to say my favorite freaking part of this movie. Rainn Wilson saves the day by like kind of like sacrificing himself to allow them to get away, right?
Yeah.
And then it's revealed later on that he survived somehow.
Made no sense.
Made no sense at all. He
sense at all.
survived, and he ended up like 15 miles away in a different town to save the day again.
It felt like they had a different ending, and they had to go back and do a different ending after they went.
You think so?
And did some tests or something.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because what happened was when they sold this movie to Lionsgate, Lionsgate was like, we don't like the ending. We want to do a different ending.
Okay.
And so they went and they reshot the ending. The minute that they show up in Danville, everything from that point on is like the reshoot.
Okay.
So were they going to like the bouncy house?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but when they go to Danville, which is the next town over, and the Danville sign says, at least we're not
chicken.
Fort
Chicken,
which is
yeah.
a fantastic name for a town.
yeah, and when they get there, everyone's just like, fucking Danville, man. But the set for Danville was like the
Hold on, can I guess? Is it the set from Back to the Future?
no,
Oh, damn it.
it is not. So it's like the set, the city set that WandaVision was shot in.
No way.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like when I was watching, I was like, that looks just like WandaVision. I looked it up. I was like, oh, that's the the outdoor set that they shot WandaVision in.
Okay.
And so one of the reasons that Rainn Wilson just kind of shows up out of the blue is because they were like, well, we like the character. Let's just have him come in and save the day. And so like the ending to this movie just doesn't make any sense. It kind of ends very abruptly when they like just kind of drive away from Danville.
Yeah.
So you don't get like an actual kind of like closure to this film other than the fact that they just kill a bunch of like child zombies. But another character that I thought, I mean, he's a fun character, but he just kind of comes out of nowhere like midway into the movie, is the janitor Hitachi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's like this Asian janitor who, like, they don't introduce him at all at the beginning of the movie. He just kind of shows up midway through the film, and he's this Asian janitor, and all of a sudden he's like a kung fu star.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
was so
of course.
confused when this character came in because he was like, "Did I miss something?"
No.
And I was like, "Nope." And he was like, "But have they talked about this guy before?"
Nope.
And I was like, "Nope."
and he has this like metaphor, like the wise Asian,
Of course they
character,
do.
Yeah.
where he's like, it reminds me of when my grandfather told me the story about the frog and the caterpillar, and he starts telling the story, and Rainn Wilson's like, yeah, dude, this is taking way too long. We're just gonna go. And then like at the end of the movie, the guy just kind of tells the end of the story. He's like, and so the frog fucked the caterpillar. And he's like, just like, I'm going to fuck up all these kids.
It's such a goofy character, but he goes down, like he rescues the teachers who are like they have their back up against the wall, and they're kind of caught between that and the kids, and the janitor comes and rescues him, and they take him down to his like little like boiler room bunker.
So here's the thing though, man. I remember back in school, every school has that weird janitor dude that
Yes.
you never see unless you need to see
Unless
him.
somebody throws up.
It's and that's the truth. It's weird.
Dude, if I ever go full time with this podcast and I don't have to have like a job, I think I might apply to be a school janitor.
You don't want to do that. You
I
don't want
think
to be that weird guy.
just to be the weird
You don't
fucking
like
janitor
kids.
though. I know, but I could be the creepy fucking janitor.
You're gonna have to carry sawdust with you in case somebody throws up. You just throw the
Yes.
sawdust on top of it and walk
It
away.
was also funny because like when he takes them down to his boiler room like area,
They're like, do you live down here?
Yeah, they're like, do you live here? And he's like, oh yes.
Oh yes, yes.
You know who we have not talked about yet
Who's that?
is the guy in the truck, Jorge Garcia. from
Oh, I love
Lost.
it. He's
Really?
on
You like
shrooms
him?
the whole time.
Yeah.
I hated that character.
What?
No, I thought it was completely unnecessary.
No, but he kind of saved the day at the end of the
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In the
and
rewrite.
he's freaking out the whole time because
Yeah.
he thinks he's just tripping balls
Yeah.
while he's watching these students become zombies and eat each other.
I get it.
He thinks
Yeah,
he's just on
I just didn't
shrooms.
like the character.
You like character? I love it when that guy shows up.
Did
Did
you
you have a
guys-
bad experience on shrooms? Is that
No,
why?
I've never done shrooms.
Did you guys notice that the sheriff or the deputy who shows up, he's the same deputy from Cabin Fever?
Oh, really?
Is it really?
Yeah.
The
Did you look it
freaking
up?
the beer party guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
That fucking guy.
That's awesome.
He needs to have his badge taken away. He's the worst cop. He's the worst cop.
And the other thing, since we have this movie playing over here, I actually wrote notes that I'm not even using.
Oh, good for you.
So the principal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they wanted to like make this movie completely legit,
Weird Al Yankovic.
no,
No?
Pauly Shore.
no.
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Pauly
Listen,
Shore.
this
Pauly
dude is
Shore.
trying to be Owen Wilson.
Really? You think so?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You rewatch this. If they had cast Owen Wilson as the principal, that would have been just the cherry
That
on
would have
top
been
of this
hilarious.
I mean,
yeah.
I will take Owen Wilson in anything.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
But I didn't find his character.
movie. He was there to die. But just to have Owen Wilson come in, he's a cameo and play the principal, because the character, the guy was trying to be Owen Wilson.
Okay.
It's just listen to the way he
So does Alex. all the
he
time.
says his
Wow.
lines. And
I say
stuff.
wow way too much.
You know,
Yeah.
it's-
Every time I
totally
see a
see it.
TikTok where somebody's doing Owen Wilson's wow, I
Yeah.
send it to you.
Wow.
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 Wow. Wow.
So yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention about this, because I have kids now, and he's getting to that age of like this age group, like, you know, the grade school thing, and watching these kid actors like
Oh, it's
play with like prosthetic, ripped apart, bloody limbs and
It's like,
shit.
okay, kids, we're gonna cover you
Yeah.
in blood, and we want
kind
you
of
to
awesome.
argue
It's
over
kind-
this
I'm like,
severed arm.
I don't know if I would do that.
Okay, so this asshole kid Patriot,
Right.
he's the first one who gets attacked by the zombie girl. And he's like, he has it fucking coming too, because he's like, you have cooties.
Yeah.
You're so gross.
He's a dick.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
complete
the
dick.
fucking worst.
Yeah.
And he like pulls her hair, but her ponytail like
Rips out of her
detaches
skull.
from her head.
Yeah.
And she just goes for him. And she like takes a chunk out of his cheek. And for like a while, he's just walking around with like
Flabby.
like skin hanging off of his cheek
Yeah.
and like teeth. It's so fucking gross.
Like, oh man, these things are gonna need some stitches.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like all of the kids on the playground are like infecting each other, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just running around and scratching to get more like infection going. It's so fucking gross.
Kids
And
are-
I'm really into it.
Kids are the worst.
Kids are the fucking creepiest thing put in
They
a
are.
horror
They're
movie.
terrible.
Like a zombie kid, that is nightmare stuff.
And they're fast too. They're not slow
Yeah.
zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should also be pointed out that Patriot was held back a grade, so
Yeah.
like he's older than all the other kids. And the way they kill him is they basically back into him with the truck, where the rooster ornament on the back
Oh,
of the
yeah,
truck
it's
Yeah.
gnarly.
Goes through his head.
Oh,
yeah,
I forgot about that.
he's basically he's killed by a cock. Essentially. Just goes right through his head.
God, this movie does some brave things.
What is that thing? Slap into a cold cock?
Yeah. No, crack open a cold cock.
Crack open a cold cock.
Yeah.
Yeah, from another wolf cop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf
Yeah.
Cop movie.
One of
God,
our
we watch
favorite
a lot
movies.
of weird movies.
We watch a lot of weird movies, dude.
Another Wolf Cop
oh
is
Jesus.
awesome. If you haven't watched that, watch it and text me later, because I would love to
Or
talk to you
at
about
least watch our review of it.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things about this movie is that it was written by two people, Lee Whannell and Ian Brennan. So Lee Whannell was the creator of the Saw franchise, and Ian Brennan was one of the co-creators of Glee. And so like you
it.
have,
Oh my God.
yeah, you
That
have,
is a marriage made in heaven.
yeah, you have this weird mixture of like someone who's like handling the horror aspect to it, and then someone who's handling the comedy aspect to it. And one of my critiques about this movie is that it's not really funny enough to be like an out-and-out comedy, but it's also not scary enough to be like a horror movie. So it's
Yeah.
like a weird amalgamation of the two, and they don't do either very well.
Right.
Like us talking about it is way funnier than like
This
watching
is
the
a
movie.
this is a
I
group
agree.
movie. You watch this with a group of friends and you're drinking. It's awesome. You're drinking it by yourself, or you're drinking
of-
it.
If you're drinking this movie by yourself,
If you're drinking this movie by yourself,
You
it's
got
not as good.
problems.
Okay, so my final thoughts and my favorite moment, my all-time favorite moment, which apparently is a reshoot. Rainn Wilson saves the day, pours gasoline all over these freaking kids,
Oh yeah.
puts the sunglasses on and says, "Nap time, motherfuckers."
No. I'm giving you an F for fuck you.
Yeah, he says that too.
Yeah.
But the nap time, motherfuckers, and he throws the match down and burns these children alive. I was like, oh my God.
Dark.
Dude.
So dark.
And he's got the sunglasses on. You can see the reflection of the kids in the background burning.
I wonder if they had like some little people in fire suits when they filmed
God
that.
damn it, dude. That was
They did
amazing. No, that's CGI.
Well, another great scene is where Rainn Wilson is walking down the hall with the automatic ball.
Oh god.
Oh,
the
yeah.
ball launcher was
ball
great.
Gunk, the gunk. He's just hitting kids in the face.
I think that was my favorite part of the movie.
I think that there is something very wrong with you, because you love seeing children in movies get murdered.
Die, you little fuck. Wow.
What's that movie we watched where the alligator ate the kid? What was that?
Alligator.
It was that was a
No,
different
that was
one.
Lake Placid.
No, not Lake Placid.
No, it was Alligator.
That shitty ass movie from that director who makes like
Yeah.
The
Dino
Roger
Croc.
Corman
Dino
one.
Croc.
Dino
Croc.
Yeah.
This
it
movie-
was the same week.
This movie might take the cake for a better kill than
Really?
Dino Croc. Yeah, dude, nap time, motherfuckers, and then he
Oh, yeah.
lights them
I
on
mean,
fire.
he kills more children in that than Dino Croc
I'm
did.
giving you all an F for fuck you.
You don't speak to children that way.
He basically,
Dude,
Whether
Rainn
they're
was
zombies or not.
every
I draw the line.
middle school and elementary school teacher wants to be
to
these
say,
teachers.
yeah.
Fuck you, you little bastards. Pow. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Favorite part of this
Listen,
freaking
my,
movie.
my mom was a teacher and a substitute teacher, and I get it.
My wife was a teacher
Yeah.
for a while, and she refused to name our children names of kids that she didn't like
Oh, yeah.
in school.
Which made it very hard.
Yeah.
You have to go Star Trek names.
Yeah. I was like,
So-
hey, what about Anthony? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I knew an
Thorspot.
Anthony, and he was terrible.
Exactly. That's what she said. Anyway, all right. Final thoughts and give this a rating. Oh, I didn't give it a rating yet. I'm going to say, shit, it's a solid 3-star for me. I had way more fun than I expected to.
Okay.
It got better the farther on it got because it got more outrageous.
Yeah.
So 3 stars for me. Go
I
ahead,
think I like it better now than I did a couple days ago when I watched it.
Babe. Okay.
That's
fair.
Because you're
with
all
you.
loosened up on the whiskey.
Maybe I'm a little loosened up. Maybe the whiskey's talking a little bit. But this was a fun movie. I can totally see why it didn't get a theatrical release because it's a little disjointed. It's a little weird. They have, some weird, I don't know, Kadish could probably explain. So I feel like there's some weird writing.
It's
faux
an
pas in
extended
here.
SNL kit for sure.
It's definitely strange movie. And just the way they insert characters and the ending seemed goofy. But I did love the way we just got to abuse little kids in this movie. It was really funny. It's like, okay, we got zombie kids. How are we gonna screw with things?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a fun movie. If you grab some beers, grab a whiskey, have a good
Hang
night
out with your friends and watch Cooties.
Watch the Cooties.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Watch the cooties, but don't get the cooties.
Yeah. I think I'm
circle,
gonna.
dot.
I think I'm with you. I think I'm gonna give this a 3.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I say it again. Wow.
Wow.
More
Yeah,
whiskey I
yeah.
drank, the more like
it would have been 3.5 if Owen Wilson had been the principal.
Okay.
Ooh, that would have been a 4-star, I think.
Or
Yeah.
if there were boobs.
No, this is
No,
a
it's
whole
a kids movie,
No,
bro.
too many kids.
We can burn them, but we're
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
boobs
no.
crosses the line.
That crosses the line.
No boobs.
Once you burn a kid, I don't need to see any tits.
Yeah, that's it. Burn the little fuckers. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go solid 3. I did like Rainn Wilson in this. He was my favorite character, I think.
Okay.
Elijah Wood. I feel like he was Elijah Wood.
He kind of played.
You
know
say
what?
that all the time.
He's just like
It's hard to separate him from.
it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like that's a you problem.
No,
I get it.
I don't have any
Jason
problem with
Momoa's
him.
just playing Jason Momoa. Elijah
Yeah.
Wood's just playing Elijah
Keanu Reeves
Wood.
plays Keanu Reeves. I mean, it's fine. He is what he is.
Play
It's
your
fine.
strengths.
Yeah.
Maybe
Rainn Wilson.
He is an FBI agent.
Agent. Yeah.
Utah, give me 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, can you imagine if Keanu Reeves played the science teacher?
Oh, that'd been awesome.
100%, I can imagine that.
I kind
And
of
Owen Wilson is the fucking principal.
Yeah.
maybe we should like try to get like a Cooties 2 made.
I would watch that.
I would too.
Viking cooties.
Sure. Go watch Cooties, guys. It's on Prime.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, Jude, give your final thoughts and give it a rating.
All right, sir. So I want to talk about something that we haven't talked about yet, which is the initial scene when Elijah Wood is coming in to be the substitute teacher of the class. And he's like, I'm not a real teacher. I'm a cool teacher. And
Yeah.
in fact, I want you to call me by my first name. And he writes Clint on the blackboard, but he puts his letters too close together. And that fucking asshole patron is like, your name's cunt.
Dirty word.
CLIN and the L and
This
the
is-
I connect and it looks like cunt.
And it's
That's-
like,
that's
Clint,
why-
you fucking buffoon.
That's why this review is only going to get 14 views on YouTube because we said the C
We're
word.
too vulgar. We're vulgar, we drink, and we wonder why our views not
Wow,
higher.
Yeah, but
Why you
the girl
sub?
said cunt, so I think it's fine. If you have one, you can say it.
Is that a drink word?
I don't
think
know.
we should make it a drink word.
Cunt?
Yeah. Wow.
You ruined it, Alex. You took it too far.
This part's gonna be clipped and sent to my mother.
I give it 3 burning children out of 5.
All right, 3's all around.
I give it 3 cunts out of 5 cunts.
Wow, stop. Can you get us demonetized?
I think the burning of children are a bit bad.
Our episode about failed female crossovers was ineligible for monetization.
Oh, well.
That makes sense.
I was like, that's fair.
So, like,
Some of our best work.
it's like, she's like just laying there like a dead seal.
If the trains are rocking, don't come a-knocking. Oh my God, you're crying. You're legit crying.
I'm just coming to the realization of why our channel's not bigger.
Because we're filthy.
It's terrible.
We're not very successful, but we have a good time.
We're like the Sam Kinnisons of fucking YouTube.
That guy actually got paid sometimes.
Okay.
So we're the Dice Clay of the Fred 5 Network.
Oh,
Hey, Mary, quite contrary. Trim that pussy, it's too damn hairy.
you get an F for fuck you.
Whiskey. We can't drink whiskey anymore.
All right,
We can't
Kadish.
do it.
Final thoughts, give it a rating.
All right. So, like I said, this is a very uneven movie. I think besides the science teacher, my favorite character was Mr. Hitachi, who's the kung fu janitor, who just is obsessed with frogs fucking caterpillars.
Racist.
Yeah. So,
Oh, man.
yeah, like I said before, like this movie is not funny enough to be like an outright comedy, and it's not scary enough to be an outright horror film. The beginning of it was very gross. The ending of it was a lot of fun, but it was a little too late for me. I got to give this, solid 2 chicken nuggets out of 5.
Okay.
I think that was the greatest beginning of a zombie movie I've ever seen.
The chicken nugget thing.
Yeah.
It set everything up perfectly.
I was literally grossed out.
The grosser the intro
I
to a
can't eat
zombie movie
chicken
is,
right
the
now.
better. Yeah, no.
I love chicken. I can't eat it right now. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Fish.
I'm going to have to start eating tofu or something. And
Yes.
Okay, but if you become a zombie and you're undead, then you can't die. So you're immortal.
Okay.
On that note, that is it for Cooties. It's on Amazon Prime if you guys want to watch it. I would suggest watching it with friends. I don't know if this is like a by yourself movie, but
If you watch this by yourself, you're probably a
Hey,
weirdo.
I watched it by myself.
cheers.
Well, point taken.
Okay.
Right.
I enjoyed it by myself.
Okay. All right, that's it for Cooties. Stay tuned. The next movie on our list is the one that we were supposed to talk about to begin with, Wyrmwood Road of the Dead, or Dead Road?
Road of the Dead.
Road of the Dead. Our Australian.
Road of the Death Road.
Shout out to our Australian listeners because we're talking about your zombie movie
Crikey.
coming up here. Welcome back, everybody. The next movie on our list is Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead. Before we get into it, remember, if you guys want to support the podcast, go to saltynerdstore.com and grab some merch. We have a ton of really cool designs. Matt Vader is wearing one of our best and most controversial ones, Klingon Lives Matter.
That's because they do.
Yes. What's the,
Not
speak some
these-
Klingon.
Not the something like that. Yeah.
To be, or not to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to saltynerdstore.com, help support the podcast. You guys can get some cool merch in return.
Spend some money. Kapla.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a good time. All right. Wyrmwood, the Australian-based zombie movies. I'm sorry. Yeah, his burp just made me laugh.
Did I burp?
Yeah,
I did. Huh?
you did.
I'm start
All right.
over
It's whiskey burps.
from the beginning. Katie's just actually laughing at us.
I got the whiskey burps.
He's like,
I got the
"Oh,
vodka burps.
man."
I got the cider burps. I got the lager
He's all,
burps.
I got lots of blooper reels
I got
this
the
week.
burps that remind us of the good times.
Did I not
burps
tell
that
you
remind
that-
us of the better times?
This is going to be one of our best episodes, and it's the one we fucked up the worst. All right.
SMP 113. We fucked up.
Never drink whiskey and record a podcast.
Oh, no. We always
drink whiskey. Mhm, yeah.
and record a podcast. All right.
That's it. We're doing it every week. It just brings
You're
a
gonna
different.
need a bigger bottle.
Oh, I gotta know fresh. I got a fresh bottle of that at home.
Do you?
I'm bringing it next week.
God damn it. What are we talking about next week?
It's
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell Western.
Kurt Russell Western drinking High West whiskey.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and tune in next week because
Yeah, that's gonna be
lit.
great. But we're talking Australian zombies.
Yeah, Australian zombies. Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead. Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
2014 Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead, not rated, with a runtime of 1 hour 38 minutes. This had a budget of $1.4 million. What do you think this brought in?
It did not have a budget of $1.4 million.
Okay.
It looks like it.
Why don't you just take over?
It had a budget of $160,000. What do you think it grossed?
I'm going to say, I have no idea. This is a made-for-TV movie, but it should...
Sorry.
500 million or 500,000. Sorry, $500,000.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
So
600 grand.
It grossed $111,000.
Wow.
Okay, Jude, where did you get your numbers from?
Google, the Lord of Questions,
1
says $1.4 million.
Is that budget?
Yes, budget.
What do you have to say about that, Katie?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Did you get your figures from IMDb, which we have now
Debunked.
It is canon that it is bullshit.
I got it from an Australian news story where basically this movie was shot over the course of 5 years on the weekends because it was like a super low budget, like labor of love that these people did. And one of the funny things about this movie that we're going to talk about in a bit is that actors basically got killed off because they got better gigs over the course of the 5 years that they were making this movie. So
Nice.
yeah.
This has the same vibe as Bad Taste.
It does.
No, it does not.
Yeah. No, not in like a bad way, but I mean like.
Oh no, it's a better version.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But I'm saying like that creation process is exactly how Bad Taste got made. Yeah.
I want to hear Jude's synopsis though.
Okay. Yeah. Let's listen to the synopsis. Take it away, Jude.
So this brought in $111,000.
Wow. That's really weird to me.
It needs more.
Bro, this is like my favorite movie I've seen in a long time.
I don't think it ever got a release outside of Australia.
I doubt it. It's so Australian, and that's part of the reason why I love it.
Jude, tell us about it.
All right. Brooke is an edgy photographer in the midst of a shoot when her model spontaneously zombifies and tries to eat her. She manages a call to her brother to warn him to get his family to safety before the zombies find him. Unfortunately, an undead home intruder infects his wife and daughter, and he's on his own to brave his way toward his sister until he meets up with a few other solo survivors. Meanwhile, his sister Brooke is being held hostage by a mad scientist who's been infecting her resistant blood type with the zombie virus and accidentally turned her into the queen of the zombies. Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start off right now with the minimal amount of salt that I have for this movie. The
Okay.
only thing that this movie has going against it is its low budget effects. The blood splatter and some of the effects are like very, very okay. I can see you had $100 grand to work with, and that's about
Did
it.
you
Disagree.
believe the zombie breath?
I guess.
Sure.
You're
Yeah.
going to need to explain what that is.
Okay,
Okay,
so
well, yeah.
zombies are gaseous beings, and that's how like the virus is spread through their gassy breath.
Well-
and then it kind of like deflammatizes everything that's flammable.
Nothing you said made sense.
All right, Kadish, why don't you just explain it?
All right. Well, basically, there's like this meteor that puts stuff into the atmosphere that turns people into zombies. Unless you have A positive blood, those people seem to be immune to the zombification. And so once people breathe in these spores from the meteor, basically zombies kind of create methane gas. Instead of exhaling carbon dioxide, it's methane. And then once the sun goes down and there's no photosynthesis, the methane builds up in their system and supercharges them and gives them like enhanced speed and strength and ferocity. And so everything else that has a combustible element to it doesn't work after like the meteor puts its spores on planet Earth. So gasoline doesn't work, engines don't work, generators don't work. And throughout this movie, the people figure out that if they hook up zombies to their engines, the methane that they exhale can be used as fuel. And so like that's like one of the interesting, unique bits about Wyrmwood.
I got some like Night of the Comet vibes from that too.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Jude, you texted us when we were watching this. You were like, I love the rules in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
This movie is off the rails, crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It follows no
Standard zombie rules.
It's these are I just chalk it up. Okay, Australian zombies.
Yeah, it's fucking different.
I'm
and
good.
I'm
And
here for anything that's different that I haven't
love
already
this.
seen.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I love
You
this movie.
did?
I absolutely
Wait, have you seen this before?
never.
Okay, cool.
This is a first watch for everybody,
Oh
right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
If you've watched this movie before you watched our podcast, more power
Kudos.
to you.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched this movie and you're listening to this podcast, go turn us off immediately. Go watch this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And then come
watch
back
it.
to us because this is a great fucking movie.
It's so good.
Really
I
good.
love this movie. I don't give a shit if it was $50,000 or $50 million budget. I actually watched this movie and I'm going, they used their little budget well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
Because it does not look like a $150,000 or whatever movie to me. It does not. It's just from the get-go, I'm like, man, they really know how to stretch their buck here. Yeah, they really do. I was super impressed.
I love the freaking characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Aboriginal guy.
Oh yeah, he was great.
He was so freaking funny, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, mate, I got to take a piss. You got to pull over. And he's like, I'm not pulling the fucking truck over. He's like, you got it. I'm going to fucking piss right now. And he gets out and he's like, hold on a second. I got to hold my giant cock.
And like, it all starts off with him being like, "Hey, mate, tell me a story." And he's like, "I had to kill my wife and child today.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that into a story."
And then they
It's
turn
like,
it into a
"All right,
story."
mate."
What about the part where like the old guy got bit and he's like, get the first aid kit
Oh,
from underneath
dude.
it, and then they open up the first aid kit and there's just like a bottle of beer in
There's
there.
2
Yeah,
bottles
yeah.
of beer. This is my favorite bit in the entire movie. My absolute favorite bit. They're-
Fosters.
Yeah. No, I think Australians hate Fosters.
Yeah.
Because I asked.
That was a Foster's.
Was it?
I checked.
Guys,
Maybe Kadish can
Aaron-
confirm or deny.
Aaron, he's in the chat right now. Aaron is our Australian patron member. You got to. I talked to you about beer one time, and you said Australians hate Fosters. So I need an explanation as to why
Is it like
Fosters.
the Bud Light of beer in Australia?
Yeah, it's kind of like
pretty much.
that's the shittiest beer you can buy kind of thing.
Like it's a PBR?
Yeah, but in like America, we're like, oh, Foster's, yeah.
Because it has a commercial and they talk funny in it.
Foster's, Australian for beer.
Every single American that gets a Foster's in their hand, they go, Australian for beer.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
They just get this stupid accent that none of us can do right, you know? And it's just
Oh,
funny.
man. Kudos to the marketing department.
Like I don't know if this is Australian or New Zealand, but like, you know, there's a part where our 2 main characters come across this barn where these other 2 guys are kind of holed up and there's a whole bunch of zombies out there. And they're just like, oi, mate, can we come inside? There's a lot of zombies out here. And the guy just kind of looks around and is like, yeah, all right, come on in.
That was great. They're like exploring this area. They're trying to run away from the zombies, and they come across this little hut in the middle of nowhere, right? And these guys are already in it. And like, this was the bit that
This
it was
is
so
the most well-equipped hut.
Oh, it's
steel
amazing. They
shack
got
in the middle of
football
nowhere.
armor.
Oh, it's great.
It's amazing.
And this
Yeah.
is where we learn that gasoline doesn't work like
Yeah.
gasoline because of the zombie breath or whatever.
Because they're super smart and they figured it out. you know?
Yeah, so they're like, hey, we're gonna take that SUV or Jeep or whatever it is, and we're gonna like get the fuck out of here. And they're like, he's like, we're not taking that anywhere.
And zombie blood is flammable. Actually.
Yeah. They found
and then
that out.
They learn that they can like use zombies as fuel.
Yeah, which was it was a great little way of them. They were just like hanging out partying, and the dude had a cigarette, and he like just flicked it on the floor
Yeah.
next to the fire, next to the blood spill from the zombie, and it freaking lights up. And they were like, "Zombies can be used as fuel."
Which begs the question, how did he light his cigarette in the first place? But
With a lighter.
you know what, whatever.
This is just, listen, man, there's nothing in this thing makes any sense. If you're one of these people that goes to the movie and you ask too many questions in your brain, you're not going to like this movie. You're
Yeah.
just not.
What's the brother's
If-
name? Brody?
But
Is it Brody?
if you're like, want to see literally every scene in this movie with the blood splatter in it, with that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's just super fun.
It is tons
then
of fun.
This is the movie for you.
Yeah.
If you're into heads being blown off, lots of excessive fluid splattering around, with a mad scientist and
Mad
zombies
scientist
stapled to walls,
experimentation.
Oh
and
yeah.
hot chicks. Oh god, this movie is great.
So it's crazy how this movie goes from like super funny, goofy Australian humor to like really freaking dark with the
Yeah.
dude who had to kill his daughter
Oh,
and
yeah.
his wife. Like
Huge.
that.
Yeah, the plot of this movie is basically the main character Barry. He's trying to find his sister, who's in like the next town over, so he can save her from the apocalypse after being forced to kill his wife and child. And the whole Road of the Dead thing is that he teams up with these other guys who basically fix up this old car, hook it up to zombies so that like it can actually run. And so like they're trying to drive down the road to get to this next town over to rescue his sister. In the meantime, the government has kidnapped his sister and is doing experiments on her because people with A positive blood who haven't turned into zombies have like some type of like element to them that they're trying to figure out, like, how to utilize this as a weapon.
They're naturally resistant.
I think it's a negative blood.
Whatever
but it does fine. I
It's
just like
A something.
Yeah, A something.
It's
What,
Barry and Brooke.
And Barry and Brooke. Dude, Brooke is a freaking badass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Her whole story arc in this movie, she spends half the movie, more than half the movie,
Tied
tied
up.
up in the back of a freaking moving truck.
Even before she becomes the queen of the zombies, she's like jumping up into the
Oh, yeah.
rafters to get away from zombies. Like
Yeah.
she's spry.
She's already a badass.
Yeah.
But she spends half the movie tied up in this box truck and it's driving. It's a government truck that's driving from point A to point B. It's like always on the move. And this super creepy freaking evil scientist, like Frankenstein type
He's
dude.
great.
Nuts.
I love him.
Completely nuts. And he keeps injecting her with zombie blood or zombie spinal fluid. And he's like, and they have like little beepers on their collar, so he knows when the next injection has to
and
happen.
he's like jamming out to his
Oh,
tunes
he
while he's doing it.
loves
he's
his
fucking
job.
loony.
It's so good.
He loves his job.
I said in while we were talking about Cooties a few minutes ago that it reminds me a lot of stuff like from Fright Dome here in Vegas during Halloween. This the mad scientist lab
I can
is
totally
straight. It's
yeah.
straight out of a haunted house.
I can totally picture the mad scientist
Yeah.
just like coming up to you while you're
it's
trying
great.
to like check out a haunted house and him being like fucking weird and in
You know,
your face and
that
like
lab of his
pretending
is-
to inject you.
It's something you would walk through. And they'd
Oh.
have actors tied to the wall. Going,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
For sure.
It's so good.
It's so
Yeah.
great, dude.
I mean, yeah, it's low budget, but it doesn't look low budget to me. I'm sorry, it does not look low budget.
It
to me.
looks like an indie film.
1.4
It looks
million
like an
dollars.
indie film.
Low
Yeah.
budget seems like you're like insulting somebody, but this
Yeah.
it just feels like an indie film.
This doesn't feel like we give Matt shit about bad taste.
Yeah.
That looks low budget. All right, it looks low budget. It does. It looks like some college kids
This
were
does
about.
not look like
This-
it took
this-
years
this-
to film though.
This doesn't look like. It just doesn't look like that to me.
Yeah.
You know, Bad Taste was made in the 80s.
Right. No,
This
I'm not,
movie
I
was
don't
made
mean to
in
talk shit about
2011.
it. I get it. I get
And they
it.
had
Bad
aliens.
Taste was
Yeah.
also shot on film.
Okay.
This was shot on digital video.
Yep.
He's gonna defend Bad Taste. To
Yeah, he has to. He has to swoop in and be the hero of bad taste. Anytime we chick talk
This
it.
movie's way better. Okay,
Okay, all right,
way
all right.
better.
Anyway, like I was saying, Brooke, the standout character in this show, besides the Aboriginal dude, which I freaking love.
Oh,
that
he
guy.
was great.
He was so awesome.
Fun, yeah.
I wish what is his name? Do we have his name? What's his?
So his name is Benny.
Benny. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, Bunny. I freaking love that guy.
Has he been in other stuff, or is he just like some dude?
Just some dude.
Just some dude. Some
I
friend
love
of
it.
the,
I want to
friend of
meet
the
Benny.
writer.
I want to meet the actor who plays Benny.
Oh, we should get him on the interview.
Dude, that would be dope.
Oh, we should.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Aaron.
Matt,
You're Australian.
be our people, bro.
It says, that it says that he was in Utopia, which I'm assuming is the British version.
I bet we could talk to the fucking showrunner of this.
Probably.
The director, writer dude.
Yeah.
Probably. We can reach out to him. Anyways,
It's actually two. It's a brother team.
Okay.
It's the
Excellent.
Roche Turner brothers.
Let's
who
do
made
it.
this.
Let's find these
I'm gonna
guys.
find those guys on Instagram and DM them
Damn
tonight.
right. Damn
They're
straight.
actually working on a new movie right now called Necromancer.
Oh,
These guys are so in. These guys are
It's
so in our vein.
Wormwood Part 3.
This is
The
our jam.
Necromancer.
This is
this is our jam,
It
bro.
really is.
Well, it's interesting because they actually tried to turn this into a TV series. It was called Wyrmwood Chronicles of the Dead, and they actually shot like a short version of it to try to sell it to networks.
Okay.
And no one was picking up what they were putting down. And so they basically just took all that energy and made Wyrmwood Apocalypse instead.
We
And
are-
I feel like that's what we saw when we looked up to see if these were out, was those, like this one and that one. And we were like,
It's like-
yeah, they're out. We can watch them.
Yeah.
And then we went to go look for it. We were like,
Yeah.
oh.
So I know we can't watch it yet, but I think if you go to YouTube, you can watch like the first 6 minutes or some shit like that of Wyrmwood Apocalypse.
Okay.
That's actually what you're talking about is the teaser for Wyrmwood Chronicles of the Dead.
Okay, well it's bonkers.
No, it's basically like Brooke's story in the
Yeah.
back of that truck, but taken to an extreme level.
We should do a trailer reaction right now.
And we should.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know if the producer would be up to the task.
It's just bonkers, dude. It's
He's
just
been fucking with me all day. Let's do it.
it's just
We'll keep talking. See if you can pull that up for us.
this stuff is so
Jamie,
crazy.
pull that out. Get that out. Send it to the internet.
I'm just gonna let the editor edit in.
Yeah,
clips.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, do that.
That's me. All right. Again, I'm coming back to Brooke because I freaking love her story.
dude.
Like that whole scene where she's stuck in there and this guy's experimenting on her and she's slowly discovering. She's like, the more fucked up she gets, she's like,
Every
I can-
injection she gets,
Yeah, she's
of,
like,
the,
I-
of the mutant blood.
she's starting to like mentally connect with the zombies.
And then when he gets infected, he's like, I'm fucked. And
Yeah.
she's like, listen, you're fucked.
yeah,
You should
done.
probably let me go. And he's like, you know what? I'm fucked. I should probably let you go.
dude, it's the freaking box truck the whole thing that happens in the back of the box truck is freaking insane. So creepy. And I loved it. And Brooke, when she pops out and she knows that she can control zombies and she goes full freaking zombie queen and she's like, oh, I'm gonna wreck house to do. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah. And Benny, God bless him, he gets himself infected to help save the day.
Yes, yeah. So they get
Spoiler.
caught, but the government.
Hey, I'm gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just do it like this. It's like, okay.
So the ragtag group of survivors meets the government officials who come in and they butt heads, and there's like this little mini war that happens. And Benny gets shot in the gut, and he's like, I'm not gonna make it, mate. And he's like, if you just turn me into a zombie, and then Brooke can control me, and I can help you get out of this thing. And what is his name? Brody, or what was the
Barry.
Barry. No, Barry's
the brother. Benny's the friend.
There's too many bees.
A lot of bees.
Benny.
Brooke is the sister.
I am too drunk to keep that straight.
The Bee Gees are the soundtrack.
So he's like, he's going to sacrifice himself to be able to save these guys. And he does. He gets bit by the zombie, turns into one, and then
He's
Brooke.
like, I got this boomerang.
Yeah, I've got this boomerang. It's sharp as fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I keep it underneath the car.
Just for special occasions.
I love it. It's so
He's like,
bonkers.
I knew this would happen one day.
And they get in the fight with the government guys. They take him out, and there's this big fight, the ending fight where one of the B names has to fight the army to save
Barry.
Brooke. Barry saves Brooke.
Barry.
Hey, Barry. But no, it's just the jokes are on point. The Australian sense of humor, the over-the-top gore. It works, man. It's so fun.
Usually I don't like gory movies, but man, this thing was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. This thing was so much fun. And it was just, I never took it seriously. I didn't think it was like I almost looked at it almost as like a gory comedy.
So it really is kind of like Bad Taste meets
Shaun of the
Evil
Dead.
Dead 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of like indie feel to it.
Right.
The camera work is very gonzo. Like the ideas are off the wall. It's very kind of gory and gross in some spaces. So I misspoke a little bit earlier where I said it was 5 years. It was over the course of 4 years. Basically, they shot on the weekends over the course of 4 years to make this movie. And there's a scene in here where basically Barry runs into another guy named Chalker, who's like in the pickup truck right after he kills his family.
in the tunnel.
Yeah. And that guy was originally supposed to be in the Benny role. He was going to be like the sidekick. And he ended up over the course of like a year, like booking another gig. And so
they
like,
had to kill him off.
yeah. So like they just killed him off and replaced him with Benny in this movie because like this movie was it was a labor of love. They just made it over the span of years, paying for it with like credit cards and like, building all the sets themselves. It like when Alex said that it's very reminiscent of Bad Taste and how that movie was made.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% like, I feel like the brothers who directed this took a lot of inspiration from Peter Jackson and how he made Bad Taste, because this movie feels like Bad Taste 2.0.
Yeah,
in a way.
it kind of does. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll go back and I'll rewatch Bad Taste.
You're not gonna
Just-
like it.
No, don't do that.
But you guys know how I am. I don't like to not watch things. I need to be able to have reference.
The way this film was made is exactly the same thing that happened with Bad Taste, and that's kind of that's one of the reasons why I respected Bad Taste.
Right.
This movie did the same thing. It's just it's more updated. It's more modern,
I
which I think is what
I look at this movie and I feel like I'm watching a guerrilla-made movie. Like it was just like it was made as cheaply as they could, but it was done as well as possible with what they had.
Dude, that truck that they had
Nothing in this movie for what the story they're trying to tell feels out of place. It's a very simple story. It's a very simple movie, but everything is so over the top and wild and makes your brain and my eyes go, what the fuck am I watching right now? It just works. The zombies are scary, dude.
Yeah.
They're gory. They're blood everywhere. It's a nasty horror movie.
And
but
I feel like it's
so good.
I feel like it's perfectly paced in order to get you from point A to point B, because this is a family man. He's got his family, he's got his wife, he's got his daughter, and like the way that they transition, like them getting infected, and like his daughter gets infected first.
It's kind of
And-
rough.
and-
It's a hard story.
Like, what are you gonna fucking do? It's still your daughter, and you don't know what's going on. And then like he's hugging his wife and she's like, I don't want to live without her.
Yep.
Yeah.
She intentionally allows herself to get infected and he's holding her and she turns while he's holding her.
And he has to kill them.
And then he has to kill both of
And
them. It's fucked.
He tries to kill
and this
himself.
happens right in the beginning. It's
Yeah,
not,
and
then-
yeah,
the
it's not that much
run
of a
out of
spoiler.
nails.
He runs out of nails. He tries to kill himself and he can't do it. And then he tries to steal the other dude's gun. And the guy's like, mate, I'm not going to let you do it, mate. Like, no.
Yeah, we're the only humans left,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Chalker is, so like, they're in the woods, and Benny accidentally like shoots Chalker in the head, and that's how they kill off that character. And Benny's like, oi, like, was that guy a zombie? And he's like, no, man. And he's like, oh, that's too bad.
It's like, oh well, he would have been in it pretty soon.
Benny is the comic relief.
Yeah.
And the dude with the handlebar
dude, I love
mustache.
Benny.
Yeah, 'cause,
Benny's
like,
amazing.
Benny's story is that were they hunting or something? They're just in the woods.
They're on a walkabout.
They're going on a walkabout, and he's like, and all of a sudden, what's his name? Frank turned into a zombie.
No, it was his two brothers.
Oh yeah, it was his brother, and he's like, and then I shot his legs out.
Yeah.
and then
he crawled after me.
He kept crawling after me, so I didn't know what to do, and like his whole story is like just like
was really
this
good.
bumbling fucking fool, and he's like, oh, I guess I should kill him.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
it's
mate.
that, like Australian, New Zealand humor.
Here's the thing that I liked about this movie is that we've all watched a million zombie movies and TV shows, right?
Mhm.
None of them have the zombie rules that this movie set
Oh, this is
up.
unique.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
that's what I liked
completely,
about
Dude,
it.
it's completely unique, and I love it.
Seriously.
Zombie breath?
For that.
It was a freaking game changer when they realized they
Absolutely.
could use zombies as fuel
Oh
for their
god, it
truck.
was
Yes.
so
I
funny.
was like, so they hooked up this freaking compressor and they stuck a freaking mask on the zombie.
Yeah.
And as it was breathing, it was feeding the compressor, which was then feeding the truck. And they're like, all right, we're out of gas. We need to get another zombie.
yeah,
I was like, this is
Go get another
bananas.
There
dude.
are a couple more zombies in the back.
They had a cage of zombies, which acted as a gas tank.
Yeah, they're basically like gas cans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
but
was-
at night they don't work.
yeah, but at night,
So
they
you
found
gotta
that out
find,
the
you
hard
gotta,
way.
you gotta hole up and camp out at
Yeah.
nighttime.
And
Yeah, it
Brooke
was-
is freaking smoking hot.
Yeah,
in this movie, too.
yeah, and we gotta talk about Brooke.
The
because-
queen zombie.
Yeah, because her character is amazing.
It's
I'm
badass.
sorry, I really like what they did there. I like the mad scientist that
Mhm.
created her by accident.
Well, the funny thing is that, so how we got turned on to Wyrmwood to begin with, it was you saw a trailer
I saw
for
a trailer.
Wyrmwood Apocalypse.
Yeah,
And we watched the trailer. In fact, we did a trailer reaction.
we're all
for
like,
it.
"What the fuck is this?"
and Brooke, she comes back in the sequel,
Mhm.
and while we were watching the trailer, Alex was like, "Is that a hot zombie?"
yeah,
and so like you were like, based off of the trailer for Wyrmwood Apocalypse, you were like, we have to watch the first one, and we
Yeah.
got to watch this one,
I'm so glad we did.
and so that was the genesis of this episode.
We will watch the next one.
Oh,
Oh,
for sure.
yeah,
if I
for
can get a
sure.
hold of it after it comes out in theaters.
I'm really hoping that Cooties has a sequel. Now we could just do the two.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with this, and Brooke is such a badass. That smoky eyeliner she has on,
Oh,
I could
God.
watch her story all freaking day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
It's just like I put on some makeup and then I got really sweaty.
yeah.
That's the fucking look. And
That's
it
the
works.
look.
It
It works.
fucking works.
And she even gets like shot in the boob at the end.
Yeah. Well, she gets shot by
Which
the
doesn't
government.
kill her because she's a fucking badass, queen of the zombies.
Queen
Yeah.
Zombie, dude. Brooke
Yeah.
turns into Queen Zombie. She literally takes a bullet out by hand.
Oh, yeah.
And like throws it away, and she's like, "This is it. This is who I am now." And she
Yeah.
like calls the
She-
zombie army.
She flicks that bullet at him like a cigarette.
Yes, give me another cigarette, you whore.
You whore.
It's so good, dude. This movie's so bananas that it works. It's
Yeah.
so over the top
I'm
crazy.
so, I'm
100%
so happy we
recommend.
watched this.
I am too.
I'm so-
I loved it.
It's so in our
Recommend?
zone.
Oh, 100% recommend.
Recommend?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
recommend. Recommend.
Do you recommend it? Yeah.
Oh, we're
Okay.
all in agreement. This has never happened.
I'm not sure what our scores are going to be, but we all like it.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Am I allowed to give this movie a 5-star?
You
Because
can give it whatever you want.
I'd watch it again in a second.
Yeah,
I do a live watch party on
we
Discord.
can give it a
Yeah.
we can give it a independent low budget movie score.
Okay, is that a thing?
Yeah,
It is now.
in the realm of low budget, $1.4 million, zombie movies.
What's our low budget?
What
What's
do you
our
rate
low
that?
budget?
Well,
I
I
mean, you can't put it up against like Indiana Jones.
How about
No.
we just categorize it as an Australian movie?
Okay. Oh, I
Do
know.
they get their own category?
What are
Oh,
what are
if
the-
it goes up against Bad Taste, this is a 6-star movie. Seriously, we need a fist bump cam.
fist bump cam?
Oh
Yeah.
man,
I had a dream
I
last
don't
night that we
know.
got one.
Okay.
I like adore this movie. So like
I do.
It's-
I'm a fan, man.
I'm not gonna like
It's
think-
like every once in a while we come across these things that have absolutely no buzz. They're impossible to find unless you just like randomly
that's
come
what we
across
do
it.
though.
But and we found this thing,
Yeah.
and God damn it, I'm gonna promote the shit out of this series.
Yeah,
because
I'm seriously. I'm
this
gonna see
is
if I can.
so good.
I'm
It
gonna
is
find
so
the
much
people
fun.
that made it on Instagram, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach out to them. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, bro, you need to come on our show."
Yeah, I hope this turns into like a full series.
Yeah, I'm in. I want a trilogy of Wyrmwood.
Yeah.
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 So the second one's coming out. I want the next one to come out in the next 2 years.
And I want part
I'm
3
gonna-
to
I'm
be
just gonna
called
say-
The Necromancer.
I'm just gonna say 4-star. It's a 4-star
Yeah.
movie. It's not 5 because they're limited by the budget, which I completely understand. I'm not trying to use that against them, but damn, this is a good
Listen,
movie.
for the budget, they did great.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
What's your star?
Yeah,
rating?
they really stretched out the 160,000.
You can do a lot with $1.4 million.
You guys, just stop.
They're gonna fight about this later.
I know. I'm glad we're
Go ahead.
leaving.
What's your-
No, I'm
He has a week to heal up
they're
before
gonna
you
have
see him again.
they're gonna bang great later tonight. So it's
1.4. No, it's 100,000.
neighbors are gonna hear it.
That's so gross.
Dude, I made her blush. I did.
No, I was just picturing all of
She
the ways
knows.
I could kill him.
She knows angry sex is the best.
Just holding a pillow over his face. Shh, 1.4.
Okay, now I have to leave that whole thing.
I know,
All
right?
right, go ahead, baby. What is it?
I'm with you. I'm not giving it a 5, but I'm gonna go a hard 4.
Okay.
Hard 4, and I absolutely cannot wait
I'm gonna give it 4.
to Wyrmwood Apocalypse. I haven't been looking forward to a movie like this since like I can't remember. I don't know, man.
You gotta watch it as soon as it comes out in America.
I have to watch this movie.
I have to watch it a week before it comes out.
Yeah, I want a screener. I want this thing now. For
man.
sure.
I'm definitely gonna give it 4 beer-filled med kits out of 5.
4 Fostas. 4
Fostas.
Fostas.
Jude, how about you?
I totally agree. This was so much fun. I'm legit upset that we didn't get to watch the next
know,
one.
man.
I am very vigorously hoping that there is a third one. I would love for there to be a whole Wyrmwood universe.
I think there's going to be.
I hope.
I hope.
We're starting that now.
Yeah.
Are we the Wyrmwood fan?
We are.
All right.
The
cool.
stateside Wyrmwood fan
We
club.
are such weirdos for
We are.
obscure
Dude,
things.
This is what we
Norseman
do, though.
and
Yeah.
Wyrmwood.
Yeah,
Let's
seriously.
go.
And see.
And see, like
Yeah.
one of the things that we talked about for this podcast is like we're not going to talk about Marvel or Star Wars
No.
or anything
Yeah.
that's like mainstream these days. We need to find the real nerdy shit that nobody else talks about.
I
That's
mean,
who
when we
are.
did the trailer reaction, I knew there was something
We were
special there. We're
so
like,
into
what
it.
the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am in agreement with you. I give it 4 out of 5. Good on, mates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, Ray. Katie, take it away. What's your star rating for this?
All right. I guess I'm going to have to yuck some yum here.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, you guys enjoyed this movie way more than I did. It's not a bad movie. It's a lot of fun. It's very creative, but it's not a 4-star movie. I'm going to give it a solid, I don't know, like 3 gross spinal injections.
That's all right.
fine.
That's
That's
fine.
okay.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to say like a 2.
We grade on emotion, you grade on technicality, and I think that's completely fair.
Yeah. All right. That is it for our Salty Nerd Podcast Zombie Week. Thank you for tuning in. Go check out Wyrmwood right now.
Seriously, go check
Go
it
support
Right
the crap
now.
out of this. And
out. Amazon, it's out there.
by the time this episode is edited and comes out, the Wyrmwood Apocalypse movie will be out in Australia.
Well, yeah, just in Australia.
In Australia. So we're going to find a way to watch
Have your
it.
friends
We'll find a
bootleg
way.
it.
Yeah.
Did we have to pay for this one? Is it
Three-
on
three-
Prime? I think it was on
$3.99.
Prime.
Yeah, I thought I rented it.
I think there's just watch.com. You'll be able to find it.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. The whiskey is hitting hard. Shout out to freaking High West Whiskey, man. You made this podcast live.
Yeah.
Vader, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at Matt Vader 74 on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and some other things. And
Okay.
every Saturday morning,
There you go.
on this here channel
Fuck, took you forever to
with
get there.
with me and Matthew and Danny the Dork Knight joins us usually, and we talk about nerd stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go.
Great. Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me at the Salty Nerd Podcast on Facebook, and also I am Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Excellent. Matthew Kadish, take it away.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. Kadishbooks.com will take you to my Amazon page where you can check out all my novels. And also be sure to go to saltynerd.com/rate and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, because we need 200 of those suckers to get accredited as official movie reviewers for Rotten Tomatoes. So if you guys can help us out, if you got an iPhone, just head on over there. You don't need to write a review, just need to leave a star rating, and we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you're currently listening to this on just audio, scroll down on Apple iTunes, hit that 5 stars, and then walk away.
That's all you gotta do. It's real simple.
Walk away.
Really quick, really fast.
Excellent. All right, guys, you can find me exclusively on saltynerddiscord.com. I am in that chat every single day, hanging out with our people who love this podcast and love talking about movies and all kinds of nerdy stuff. Head over to saltynerddiscord.com. Check it out. I will be there to say hello to you as soon as you log in. All right, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. And stay tuned. We are definitely going to be following Wyrmwood with great interest, as Emperor Palpatine would say. All right, everybody, stay salty.